Hi everybody, Carter here, and I wanted to spend a moment talking about anxiety. Get a lot of questions about that, how to reduce anxiety symptoms. So here's some Feng Shui tips for that. Number one, of course, I'm gonna go straight to the clutter, making sure that there is not any mind frizzing clutter around. You know, everybody's threshold is different, and maybe you just have a different threshold than those you're living with, etc. So it might be worth having a conversation, getting people on board with clearing some clutter. If it's just you, or you are the clutter bug, you know, it might be just time to get professional help in there to help mentally sort through this all so you can calm down, because I can get a lot of calmness out of a little bit of decluttering, so it's worth checking into. Avoid having, you know, a lot of times people go extremely minimal and they go all white walls, all white furniture, white, or whatever, black and white. You know, avoid totally over monochromatic schemes. So you don't want to have all white everywhere. It becomes a little too floaty. We're looking for balance. Color is one of the 9 traditional cures. I'm going to go through all the 9 traditional cures, and let's just do that right now. So certainly color, let's talk about color. I would avoid too much monochromaticness in a room, if that's such a word. Light, check and see if the lighting levels feel good to you. Check in, does this room feel dim and dark and maybe scary? Does it feel like too harsh and bright and you know, like you're just like that because of the over lightingness of it? So balance the light. It's worth changing out a light bulb here and there to calm down the anxious feelings. Sound. Is there a sound that's aggravating you and you don't even know it? Maybe it's your refrigerator hum on the other side of your headboard wall, or a, let me think about, I've had people have like they just became like, didn't even notice the subway, you know, L riding by their, on the outside of the wall of their house, for example. So if you have a train or some other noise that just comes and goes, maybe you're under a flight path, something like that, that might be something to consider to calm you down. Maybe it's time for a move. Maybe it's, you know, something like that. Traditionally, you would put a chime between you and the outdoor off-site offending noise. So if that's helpful, that would be the traditional cure for that. Living objects. Maybe your house feels dead and not pulsing with life. Maybe there is some balance to do with living objects. Add a bowl of fresh fruit on that dining room table that you never use. Add some fresh flowers every now and then, here and there. Fresh plants. Get some chi pulsing in there if it feels a little like, oh, something's making you not feel comfortable in that way. Moving objects. You know, if there's something that's maybe it's your desk is on wheels, or you know, something that should feel a little more grounded than it is, or something that, you know, just comes at you in some weird way because it's a moving object, that might cause some anxiety. A sound coming up the stairs, I don't know, there could be many different things. So consider moving objects. Sometimes they're tied to sound. Electrically powered objects. Oh my gosh, you know I'm always hammering on the EMF radio frequencies, Wi-Fi, you know, unplug yourself, get rid of your plug-in bed, heating blanket, heating pad, massage chairs, those living room chairs that plug in, that you're watching TV now, they go up and down. Anything where you're touching things that plugged in, you are now touching an electrical field. And boy, if that can frizz anybody up, it will do it. And especially people that suffer from anxiety, the electrical connection, you really want to calm yourself down and get out of the wire. As a matter of fact, look at your electricity and see, do you have frayed wires? Do you have circuits that blow a lot? Maybe there's some maintenance that needs to be done from an electrician point of view. Still or weighted objects. Sometimes I've seen people have things like a shelf above their head with big glass vases on it where they're sitting, or where they're sleeping. I've seen shelves above the bed as well. I had one guy that had he worked in the garage, and his little office was out in the garage, and he had a surfboard hanging, stored directly above his head, and the fin of that surfboard was right on top of his head. Like, I don't know how he didn't bonk his head on it when he stood up. And he always said, I have splitting headaches all the time. What can you do? I'm like, oh my God, it's right there. So look in your environment and see what's around causing that. Outside of your home, you know, straight hallways and straight lines coming up to your front door is very fast moving chi. So long hallways, long sidewalks, long driveways that are straight can exacerbate this over, you know, the chi going a little too fast. So we try to place things in a zigzag pattern to sort of get it to feel a little bit more meandering. You know, cures like that. There's a lot of different, you know, we can join my Move It with Karen program, Move Your Stuff with Karen program, and send me in your pictures of what you got and we'll find a cure for you. Let's see here, symbols. Oh my gosh, how many times have I gone into people's homes and I've seen pictures of fish hung above pictures of birds? And that's just not the natural order of things, you know? The birds are higher than the fish. Look at what you have in relationship. Do you have the ocean above the stars? You know, think about the symbols in your home. Get them in the right order. I turned one picture upside down, right side up, in a home. It was designed that way by the artist. It was a photograph, but it was done in a flip-flop manner where the island was below and the water was above, and that's the way it was designed. He signed it that way so that it was upside down. And I said, I just got to turn this upside down according to the artist, right side up according to nature. And both the client and I just went, ah, he goes, I had no idea the effect of that. I said, I quite frankly had no idea the effect of that. We both immediately just went, oh, everything's right in the world again, you know. So consider those symbols on the walls and in the three-dimensional spaces that you have. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, if your door, like going into your bedroom and it opens up to the wall and your bed is behind it and you'd have to open up the door all the way and walk around to see, you know, you in bed, or you're like waiting as the door is opening to see who's coming in. You're like, ah, don't want that. Obviously the armchair position of the bed, I talk about that all the time. Making sure you have a really good, strong position of the furniture where you sleep, where you office or work during the day, and hopefully, you know, I'd love it where you cook, and hopefully your home is sited in such a way that there's not all the busy freeway and all the busy stuff behind you, the ocean crashing up behind you, you know, things that are getting you, or a slope going down the hill behind you, because all those things are exposing your back, and that does cause anxiety. Let's see, if you go to moveitwithkaren.com, I have a little webinar on that, you know, positioning yourself in that manner, and it sort of describes the good position, bad position, and you get to see it pictorially what, you know, and you start to get it just by looking at all the pictures in there. Just general maintenance and repair of the house. Sometimes the tiredness of the house starts to get people like, it's not taking care of me very well. So general repair and maintenance, I would highly recommend. All else fails, there's a general cure for health, and that's a 50mm crystal, a round, multifaceted 50mm crystal hanging from the center of the bedroom with intentions of, right, holding health energy for you. So those are some quick Feng Shui tips for anxiety. There's lots more. Like I said, join my Move Your Stuff with Karen program, or go to moveitwithkaren.com, watch the video on how to position yourself for success. So I'm here to help you. Hope this has been helpful, and good luck, all of that, everybody out there with all of this anxious energies. And it can be helped. You know, I mean, I could go on and on and on about food and everything else, but I think I just want to get some basic Feng Shui tips out there. So hope to get some help for you out of that, and contact me if you need more. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.